your latest news update from Western Mass News.
Good morning, I'm Glenn Kittle, and here's your latest update from Western Mass News. Yesterday, dozens of people in Amherst were transported by ambulance, something officials say was caused by excessive drinking. This as UMass and other neighboring colleges took part in their annual St. Patrick's Day celebration, Blarney Blowout. UMass officials tell Western Mass News the university will assess what happened this weekend and consider steps towards improving alcohol education and intervention. Yesterday, a domestic violence awareness ride took place in Springfield in memory of Jessica Rojas, who was murdered by her then-boyfriend on March 3, 2012, the night of her 25th birthday. Every year, the Rojas family and friends come together in some way to celebrate Jessica's life and bring awareness to domestic violence. The Agawam Fire Department responded to a reported shed fire on Saturday morning at 901 Main Street. 2 people were injured in the fire and taken to Bay State Medical Center, 1 in critical condition and 1 in stable condition with minor injuries. Firefighters were able to put out the fire quickly. This incident is currently under investigation. The cause of the fire is not considered suspicious at this time.
A quick early rain or snow shower this morning, then turning partly sunny by the afternoon. First alert meteorologist Zach. New Haven temperatures in the 30s to start, but low to maybe some mid-40s by the afternoon. 48 in New Haven, 43 here in Springfield, 42 in Boston. So a pretty mild afternoon. Again, with some afternoon sun, which is the good news. Dropping off below freezing tonight, so whatever did melt could refreeze. Keep that in mind. Could be some slick spots, especially on the sidewalks tomorrow morning, but then 30s and 40s by the afternoon. Now by Tuesday, or really Monday night to Tuesday morning, this indicates the storm would miss us towards south. It could move northward. It's a very weak system, but could kick off a little light snow or rain. So the Tuesday morning commute could be impacted if that trends northward. Pretty warm for the rest of the week. Then there could be a big weekend storm, then a cool down towards mid-month. This afternoon, some melting, mid-40s going on with a cool breeze as well. Temperatures, again, 40 to 44, we'll call it. That light snow threat potentially Monday night to Tuesday morning. Dry for Wednesday, Thursday, even to Friday. Even Saturday could be dry. Right now we have spring the clocks ahead. Lose sleep again. Daylight on Sunday. Could be a little light rain or snow. We got to watch that storm in the weekend.
Stay with Western Mass News on air, online, and on our app throughout the day for breaking news, weather, and exclusive content.